to day 4 of the Feel Good Scoliosis 30-day challenge for Scoliosis Awareness Month. Today we are going to be sat on a chair, and if you do happen to have one of these handy, amazing, go grab one, put me on pause. Today we're going to be working on some seated corrections and a little bit of diaphragmatic breathing. So we are going to come to this, but if you do have it, I'm just going to get you to pop it to the side for a second. And we're going to do our seated corrections. So sitting down is something we do every single day, whether it's chilling out in front of the TV or at work. So we want to make sure that we are not sitting like this all day. Oh, I hate even doing that for a second. So with your seated position, don't be leaning back into the back of your chair. I want you to come and sit forward. We want to make sure that our knees and our feet are aligned. Again, if this is uncomfortable for your feet, you can have a little bit of external rotation through your toes. Just try and make sure that it's equal on both sides. So, toes, knees, and hips aligned. Bring your hands to your hips and notice, are you leaning more into one side of your hip? Is one hip higher than the other side? If so, you're going to correct it, just like you've been doing in your standing corrections for the past 3 days. Now you're going to do that in your seated position. You're going to come up to your ribs. Notice, is one side leaning over? You're going to bring it back to center. Try and get your rib cage in line with your pelvis. And then again, your shoulders, try not to have one shoulder up. You want to try and bring them level. Again, having that mirror out in front is going to be very helpful. And then crown of the head up to the ceiling. So this is your seated position. You're trying to get your weight equally distributed into both hips. And you're trying to have your shoulders and your ribs stacked over your pelvis and your head reaching up. It's very common for us to start to get a rounded neck, especially with scoliosis. So keep that head up. And it's not very comfortable to sit like this for a long time. I do understand that. But just throughout your day, when you're sitting down, notice how you're sitting, if you're sitting into one side or if you're leaning to one side, and try and correct yourself, even if you just hold it for 10 seconds. It's better than doing nothing at all. So remember that for your day. Hold your correction. Sometimes you can even put your hands in front of a table, gently push down into the table, or your hands onto your hips and gently push down into your hips. Same thing we do with our hands when we're standing. You can bring them to the crown of your head and push up into your hands as well, just to keep that length. So if you do have your band, I just want you to tie it around yourself. I know I seem like I'm doing weird things, but we always do weird things when we have scoliosis. So try and have the band flat like this, so it's not all scrunched up. And you're going to tie it quite tightly. Obviously don't like really suffocate yourself, but you want it to be tight. And this is just to give us a little bit of feedback as to where our breath is going. Because it's very common for us to breathe into one side of our body. So I just want you to start to bring some awareness to your body and what is going on in there. Again, if you don't have the strap, it's really no bother at all. Then you're going to take your hands to your belly. We're going to do some diaphragmatic breathing. So most of the time during the day, we are breathing into our chest, short, little, shallow breaths, which puts us into a sympathetic, aka a fight or flight state. So doing some diaphragmatic breathing, some long deep breaths into our diaphragm is going to help us to enter a parasympathetic state, aka rest and digest, and just help us to relax a little bit, which when we have scoliosis, we're very anxious and shallow breathing a lot. So I just want to bring some awareness to our breath, our bodies, and try and slow everything down for a moment. And it's just going to help us to fill our bodies up like a big balloon, so we have some kind of feedback for our breath. So enough talking, Claudia. Take your hands to your belly, stand, sit up nice and tall with those corrections. And then start to take some deep breaths into your belly. And if you're wearing a band, breathe into the band, staying tall through your corrections. And then as you exhale, exhale through your nose, stay tall through your body. You can close your eyes and just listen to me. Inhale, breathe into your hands. Push your belly button away from your spine as much as you can. And if you're wearing your band, breathe into the band. Fill the whole body up. And then as you exhale, stay tall through the spine. Hold those corrections. And keep going. Big inhales, maybe counting for 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding tall and exhaling, staying tall. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. 2 more. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. 1 more. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Good. And just let the body relax. Let the spine sink into what it wants to do. Bring your breath back to a natural rhythm. And notice, where are you sending your breath now? Do you feel the band expanding when you breathe in or not? And notice that. Are you taking your breath straight back into your chest? Is it shallow? Or can you try and stay tall and fill the band up with your breath? I want you to keep practicing this. Maybe keep going now. Keep taking those deep breaths. Keep those seated scoliosis corrections. Notice how you're sitting throughout the rest of your day today. Well done for joining me on day 4, and I'll see you tomorrow.